Okay, so we're back. Sorry, I forgot my cloth rag in the house, but that's okay. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna we're gonna spray the bees down with the sugar water. Okay, now hopefully all the bees start eating and don't attack me. So I'm gonna gently pry the cover off. And I'm gonna open it gently. Can you get closer? So you see in here there's a tin can. Okay, that's a tin can full of sugar syrup that they put in there to feed the bees while they were in here. They've probably been in here for a week or two, and they got one little girl that's, we're gonna start her up. She'll be the first one. What do you want to name her? We'll name her Cindy. Okay, and then this little tab. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna gently, this tab is holding on to the queen that's in the hive. So I'm gonna gently lift with the pliers the tin can out. I'm gonna try to cover the rest of the bees in here. Let a couple out, that's okay. We'll put that there. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull. Oh, there's a lot of bees. I'm gonna pull the queen out. Okay, so all I have to do is, where'd my sugar syrup go? If I spray the sugar syrup in on the hive, they're probably a little hungry, and I shake them down inside. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look to see if the queen is active, and I'm going to get close, and you can see she's in there. Okay, she's got a blue dot on her. I got a marked queen. It's a lot easier when you're doing a hive inspection, is if she's marked. Okay, and then on the end I have two ends. Okay, one end is both ends have a little cork on it. This end over here has cotton balls with sugar syrup in there for her to eat, and then inside here I'm going to take this cork off, and you're going to see inside there's a piece of candy. Okay, so what happens is if the queen will instruct her workers to go in and eat the candy so that she can get out and start laying. So I'm just going to gently take my pocket knife. This pocket knife stinks. Take my pocket knife and get this piece out. Okay, and then the candy is in there. So I have the other thing I have is a little paper clip, and I'm just going to poke a hole through the candy to kind of help start the process. And I'm also going to use the paper clip without hurting the queen to help stabilize the queen's the little queen's box in the hive. So now, can you get closer and look down? They're not flying, so they're fine. So now you can see what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the queen in between two of the boxes with the sugar side up. Take this little tab off, toss that on the ground, and I'm going to pinch a couple of frames together so that she's upright. We're going to add a couple of frames so that she's in there. I like to start with her in the middle, right? Like we said, she moves from the inside out. You can already see that some of the bees that are active are already starting to eat the sugar syrup in the feeder. Take this one out. I think I'm going to use that to cover it. And then take these two out. Okay, so now comes the fun part. You might want to back up now.
Oh, great.
Okay, so they're a little. Now comes the fun part. Now, bees are fine. You can see them buzzing around me. I am literally going to take and shake them into the box. They're going to fly everywhere. There's 3 pounds of bees in here. There's probably 15 to 20,000 bees in here. All we're going to do is we're going to try and get as many out as we can. And tapping at the sides. The rest, they're still in here alive. They don't want to come out today. So I'm just going to leave this next to the hive, and they will figure out how to get in here. Next thing I'm going to do is that's it. I'm just going to start putting the frames back in. Trying my best not to squish people, but it's inevitable. Can you zoom? Can you get closer now? They're not as busy as I thought. Oops. One just got me. My armpit. So we're going to try our best to get all 10 frames in here. Without disturbing them too much. I might just be able to get 9, and I'll probably come back tomorrow and do the 10th. So one other thing we're going to do is I have this little frame expander that gives the bees a little bit of extra room. Okay, one of the things that I don't think I did enough of with the other bees from last year, is I have these things that they're called pollen pucks or pollen packs. So each one is made out of a mixture of pollen and honey. And we're just gonna stick it on top. This is another thing that will help them stimulate. The queen won't start laying until she figures out if there's food around. And this is a good way to trick them into thinking that there's a lot of food around right now. So we're just gonna lay this on top. Where's my lids? Nope. I'm gonna go get my lids. Forgot them. I got my lids. We're going to put the inner cover on, the inner cover and the outer cover. Okay, so the inner cover allows a little bit of air gap in the top so that not too much humidity forms inside the hive. And we'll put the outer cover on ever so gently. There it goes. And that's it. So you want me to do the second hive while you're still rolling? Alright, so we're going to do the second hive. You can see if you pan over to the second hive, some of the bees are already kind of going over to the second hive. I'm going to do this one a little different. Why not have some fun and experiment? Pretty much the same setup. These hive boxes are brand new. Yes, I painted them pink. It was the color paint that I found down in the basement that had a little bit left. It's supposed to be like a terracotta orange color, but it never turned out to be that way. Stop laughing at me, kid. Okay, so I'm just gonna set this up. I want to put the food as close as I can to the middle. I'm gonna do it all over again. So, whoop. I'm gonna get my bees everywhere. I'm gonna get my sugar syrup. I'm gonna fill that up. Oops, sorry. Everybody give a shout out to my son Aiden, who's behind the camera. He's the professional media person in the family. Okay, so next, let's see. So I need my sugar water for my second box. We're gonna spray them down pretty good. Believe it or not, it was a little chilly last night. Believe it or not, these were down in the basement. Don't tell my kids or my wife. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing all over again. I got my hive tool, my pliers, my knives. Just gonna take the hive tool, take the cap off. Take the pliers and try and get this can out. I'm going to take the cover that I just took off and I'm going to try to trap as many bees in there as I can. They're not too active, so I'm not worried about it. Tomorrow they'll be pretty active. Be nice and toasty tomorrow. Okay, got my can of sugar syrup. I'm going to take this tab. Remember, this tab is the queen. You're going to try to shake off as many as you can. Try not to crush anybody. Ooh, there's a big drone. That's a good sign. We're gonna tap this in here. Get rid of it. And you can see our queen again. Look, you got 2 bees on your finger. Okay, another blue dot queen. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing. Oh, I forgot another paper clip. Crap. Okay, so I'm gonna do it this time with this little tab. The tab will work well. To help hang the bee on the edge. So I'm going to take my pliers. I used my knife the last time, but the knife was terrible, so I'll try the pliers. Okay, I got it out. I don't know if you can see closely. Does it zoom? You can see the candy in there. Okay. She'll be all set, so she's going to sit right here. There, we'll just drape her in here. Okay, you want to get closer? Okay, I put her in a frame right next to the bees. I'm going to take one of these out here just to help support her so she doesn't fall in the little matchbox. So it'll take her it'll take the worker bees a couple of days to eat the candy to get her out of there. So I'll come back tomorrow and I'll check on the progress. I'll probably record it. We'll come back and refill those feeders. And then I'll probably won't come back Thursday and Friday. It's going to rain. Maybe Saturday or Sunday. I'll come back when it's nice out. The bees will be pretty active. Out taking foraging flights. The good news is I've got a lot of stuff. We bloom pretty late here in my side of the town. So I've got raspberry shrubs behind us right here that are starting to get buds on them. The sugar maples that are right here, they don't even really have any buds, but there is a good amount of stuff that is still in bloom around here. And like I told you before, you know, bees like to go out about 5 miles on their flights. You know, a mile down the road, I have you know, the bee farm. Maybe not even a mile, a quarter mile down the road is the bee farm that I always talk about. He's got 800 of these 800 hives down there right now. So our queen will be able to go on mating flights and mate with those drones and get a little diversity in the hive, which would be pretty cool. But these bees should be all set and ready to go. It's not too cold out anymore. What I'm thinking of as I'm doing it is this little bee feeder. I don't want to dump all of the bees in the bee feeder and let them drown, so I'm just going to use one of these frames to cover the holes where the sugar syrup is. And we're gonna do again what we just did. And I'm gonna take it upside down and we're gonna shake it. I'll stand over here, bud. Okay? Ready? So these ones, the sugar syrup, the sugar water that I've dumped in there must have been pretty good, because these guys are, I'm pretty much getting them all out of the box. And like I said, there are about 20,000 bees, and knock on wood, I actually only got stung once a couple minutes ago under the armpit. Aiden's got a couple of bees. He's got a full suit on. He's got a couple of the bees crawling around his head. No big deal. He's 11, so if you guys are high schoolers afraid of it, 11-year-old is braver than you. Okay, so I got a lot more bees out there. They'll be fine. It's like a roller coaster ride for them. And I'm just gonna stick this down close to the entrance. The entrances to my hives are here. Okay, they face east, so that they get sun right away. And as soon as they get sun and the hive starts warming up, they go out and they start their work. Okay, so I'm going to leave these two frames out just for today, and because of the there's a lot of bees in there, and they gotta get acclimated. They gotta spread out. I don't want to crush anybody, but it's pretty cool. If you look, you can see some of the bees are actually crawling down the down into the feeder. On the sides of the feeder, there's like little like a little colander with little holes in it. Little colander with little holes in it, and the bees can get down in there. It's called a bee ladder, and they can get down in there. Can you see it? I don't have a light. And you can see my son is showing you all of the bees. They're alive. They're fine. They're probably still swarmed together because of last night being a little chilly, or this morning being a little chilly. I pulled them out about 11 o'clock this morning, trying to get them used to being outside, and the cold weather helps slow them down. Ooh. So I'm just brushing the bees away from the entrance here. I don't have another spacer. I thought I had one. I might have it up at the house, but that's it. So I'm going to add my pollen pack. You can see the bees have already found the pollen pack. It's got wax paper on both sides. The other one didn't. I'm going to take the paper off of one side. It's literally like fondant. If anybody's ever used fondant to make cakes, to decorate cakes with, it's what it is. It's just made out of pollen. During the winter, I go and I buy fondant from Michael's or wherever, and I roll out a piece of fondant and I put that in here to help them for food. Anything that's sugar, they'll eat. So that's the pollen pack right next to the feeder, and my lid is over here. Look at, they're already clustered on this. So we're gonna leave these sections pretty close to there. Okay, I'm gonna put this one on backwards just because I don't have the spacer. So try your best not to crush anybody. The good news is there's not one bee, there's 60,000 of them, or 20,000 of them, so you hurt one, there'll be more. So, okay, and that's it. That's it for today. This is the first time I've done this. Last year I bought hives that were pre-done. I bought a hive that was pre-done, and I didn't like it because they were behind. They were very behind. I didn't get it till the end of May, and I struggled all winter summer with it. But these ones, it's something different. So that's it for today. More videos to come.